I want to ask this question because maybe it's a little philosophical. But what do you think drives this anti-human bent in these people? Schwab, Bill Gates, this
demons,
gravity.
I have
the pain of being sucked down to a planet, the physical pain that we've become desensitized to makes people hate themselves.
To answer your question, I think there's a combination of Satanists, demons, people with mental health issues, but more consensus, more in a more simple way. Throughout human history, there has always been someone trying to conquer the world. That's not something that's out of the ordinary. It is the norm. Whether it's Genghis Khan, Napoleon, Caesar, whoever it may be, they become so empowered by other individuals that power corrupts them. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. And these individuals have reached such power, such wealth, that they are going along with what Hitler did, with what Mao did, with what Stalin did, trying to conquer and control human life for their own personal benefit. Sociopathic demons is one easy way to describe them. Another way to describe them is, of course, just saying, throughout human history, there have always been these types of people that challenge us and try to conquer everything.
Yeah.
Alexander the Great, he was on a conquering spree going east, taking like all of, Ursa Minor, that Western Asia. And it got to the point where he conquered so much of Persia, maybe even all of Persia. And then his generals were like, okay, Alex, we've had enough. We want to go home to see our wives. It's been 15 years. You promised that, this is all about making our lives better. And Alex was like, we must go on. We must continue. And they fought, and he kept taking them. They're like, we're done. And then one day Alexander woke up and he was very sick from the night before. I think they poisoned him. I mean, the theory is that his generals poisoned him because they couldn't stop him. Once you get into that state of mind, got conquering, and he thought he was the son of God. Like he was like educated by Aristotle. His mother told him he was a god and a god man. Like he thought he was there to conquer Earth. And the only way to stop someone like that, at least to his generals, was you had to stop him because he wasn't going to stop.
Why do you think?
Well, yeah, I don't know. I do think it's a spiritual battle, kind of that you alluded to. That if we were created by God, we're made in His image. And there is a Satan. You have to assume that he hates the image of God. He despises us, and I think if those forces are at work in the world, then there's always going to be those people who rise up and who kind of just naturally hate God's image, on the earth. And so it's probably kind of as old as time, like you said. It just takes different iterations, throughout history.
There's always some jerk taking a dump in the punch bowl.
It's got to be like fear.
And that's history.
Like fear of being attacked. Like what Zelensky was saying, we need to preemptively strike so that they don't attack us, like what the Romans did. We need to conquer everyone around us so that we don't get attacked. Because if you actually are attacked and your city's sacked, like Rome happened to Rome in the early days, took 200 years to recover from that. Like it can annihilate a civilization if you're attacked. So there's this idea of like, I need to conquer the earth so that the earth doesn't conquer me.
Do you think we're bored too? We're so comfortable and happy, and we have everything we need, and mankind gets to a point where they just get bored, and we just have to destroy something so we can build it up again.
Life used to be about survival.
Right.
80-90% of your day was just wake up, work. Otherwise, you don't have food. Winter is coming. Are you ready? Now we've got heating, refrigeration. We can have strawberries in the dead of winter. We can have avocados, fresh tableside guacamole prepared to order in January. Now that's something to behold. Yeah. So it's just, we they talk about like, we got to end global poverty and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I get it, but there's no such thing as ending poverty, because even the poorest people in the world have access to technologies that were unthinkable 100 years ago. Not that they have like consistent access to it, but even the United States, the poorest person in the US can get clean drinking water very, very easily. You walk into a McDonald's and you're like, water, you're good. Try doing that in some other parts of the world where there's no water and they're desperate.
Yeah. Well, I don't think that also explains it, because throughout human history, when there was no drinking water, tribes used to kill other tribes. Whether it was Native Americans, whether it was Europeans, there was always someone trying to kill someone else for their resources, for their clean water, for their food, and for their energy and ability to survive as well. So this has been happening for a very, very long time. Now it only gets a lot more sophisticated. It only gets a lot more complicated because of these technological advancements that allow people to hide behind the scenes and to impose their will in a fifth generational warfare way, where people don't even realize that they're being depopulated, that they're being chemically attacked, that they're being castrated, that they're being taught and manipulated in a way that they become self-destructive and destroy themselves, as a would-be dictator is literally pulling the strings and calling the shots without anyone even knowing their name. I think that's a more likely scenario with what we're dealing with right now than previously in archaic times, where you would stab someone and you would go into battle. Now the battle, I think, is in our minds, and I think that battle is expanding in a way that that there's no denying that it exists, especially with the dehumanization that we have seen within the last few years.
Yeah, I was thinking about the ballistics and how they've changed war, like being able to not have to look your enemy in the eye when you kill them. But then I'm thinking about the Romans and how they basically genocided the Gauls. They went through all of France and just millions of people were slaughtered at the hands of the Romans. And I think it gets to the point where the killers enjoy killing. Like they learn to dehumanize these things that they're attacking, and they enjoy the abusive behavior. Like, it's a powerful rush. You gain from it. You get food and money and jewels and women after you make the kill. And it's like addictive. And
when it becomes easy for them,
Yeah.
and they think about, these people have ideas I don't like. Hey, it's just that much easier.
they don't even think of them as people, too. It's so crazy how the dehumanization can happen when you just call them savage or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, they treat us like chickens.
Yeah.
Look, this is what I was saying this earlier today on my other show. The government deeply cares about you. Your government cares about you. They care about your well-being, and they want you to be healthy and happy insofar as you can provide labor for them. Everything else, your love, your life, your faith, your dreams, completely meaningless.
Right.
Yep.
And if you get in the way of their labor machine, you are expendable. So they care about you as much as I care about, say, chickens. Like, I don't want harm to befall them, but if I have to get rid of, a cocky rooster, he's going out to Cocktown or he's getting chopped up for lunch. They give me eggs. I don't care what else they do in the meantime. But if they start doing things I don't like, then you go in and you deal with them. That's how they view people. We provide labor, we do work. It allows them to live in their Elysium golden towers with golden toilets. But if we start acting out of line, speaking up and challenging their authority, the reality is we aren't chickens, we are humans, and humans are smart enough. So if there are smart people who can challenge them at the top, that's a problem. I got nothing to worry about. There's zero chance Roberto Jr. is going to figure out how to come in here and take this company over. He's a rooster.
Near zero chance.
Near zero chance. There's a small percentage chance.
Very tiny.
But
a chance.
for human beings, when we do shows like this, the people who are currently holding the keys to the chicken coop in which we are all imprisoned, they have to be careful because people are smart enough to break free from that. And that means you ain't getting any eggs anymore.
That's why we have politics, because people are too smart, so we need a mind control system to utilize their intelligence without allowing them to seize control.
Well, and that's possibly why we've seen such a ramp up with what's happening globally, and the Great Reset and all this war is because of the information age. What's happened, this is the advent of the printing press. With the internet, we now have all this access to information without gatekeepers, and so it does seem like kind of the powers that be are very violently reacting to that.
Boy, do they regret that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But to add to your point, Ian, talking about politics, I think politics is just there to placate the population. I think it's there to just convince people that they actually have a say in things when they actually don't. It's like a Fisher-Price toy that you give to a child that you just distract them with, thinking that they're actually cooking a meal when they're actually not. I think that our political system is run the same exact way, and there's powerful people behind the scenes calling the shots, getting whatever they want, convincing you, brainwashing you, and screwing you over every single day, and they're doing it more than ever. And there was even a mainline study that we talked about a couple years ago, I think on this show specifically, talking about how our form of government is a joke. It doesn't exist. We don't live under a democracy. We don't have a democracy because special interests always get their way. What people want never happens.
Plutonomy. It was the
Plutocracy, I think.
No, plutonomy was the report. I think it was from Citigroup.
Okay, yeah.
And they said the United States is not a democracy. It's a plutonomy where the wealthiest control the system.
Yeah, a great example of that is superdelegates. The Democratic Party, no matter who votes for what, when you go to the polls, at the very end, the superdelegates can come and be like, actually, we're going to make Joe Biden the nominee. Like, you're not voting for the nominee. You're voting for people that you hope will nominate the person you want them to vote for. It's not democracy in the slightest. I like this plutonomy.
Yeah, this is the document. It's the plutonomy PDF. Citigroup, equity strategy, plutonomy. Buying luxury, explaining global imbalances. The world is dividing into two blocks, the plutonomy and the rest. The US, UK, and Canada are the key plutonomies. Economies powered by the wealthy continental Europe, ex-Italy, and Japan are the egalitarian bloc. Equity, risk premium, blah, 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 blah. The plutonomy machine. Economy is driven by the wealthy.
That's China right now, the industrial wealth. Wealth is distribution, wealth is production. It's not about how many dollars you have, it's about what you're producing. And the Chinese people are producing like mad at the moment.
We're producing a lot of paper money, so there's that.
Yeah, that's good.
True. Yeah, we've chosen a private company to do that for us at their own discretion, the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Plutonomy is a term that refers to the science of the production of distribution of wealth. In modern times, Citigroup analysts, beginning with A.J. Kapoor in 2005, have used the term to describe an economy in which the rich are the driving forces and main beneficiaries of economic growth. Others, including Noam Chomsky, have used the term to refer to a nation or economy in which wealth is concentrated in the hands of a few. And there you go. That's where you are. And then they can use that for access, for lobbying, for manipulation, for media control. And then they create little underlings who go on Twitter and lie to you and know they lied to you. And that's it. It's just some people are just evil. Yeah, I was thinking about this when I saw I can't remember what I was watching, but they were like, Republicans are trying to bring about evil into this country or whatever. And then I thought about that. I'm like, well, they know that's not serious. These people know that they're the ones who are lying, because there's no way you can believe every single lie from the mainstream media unless, there's no way you can keep saying this and believe these lies unless there's something wrong with you or you're just pushing the lies. And so what I think is they view freedom and liberty as chaos and evil.
Yeah.
Whereas we view authoritarianism and manipulation evil. So to them, they're like, these people are evil. They want just chaos, people doing everything, and then it all burns down, and climate change and whatever.
I picture them like the guy in the basement that paints the little, figures. Nothing wrong with that. But like, that has the scene set up and everything just so, and everything posed, maybe like a little train set or something like that. And imagine if those figures were about to, have agency or free will, and it's just the guy loses his mind. That's kind of they're people tinkering with a train set in their basement. That's
obsessed
kind of
with order. Yeah,
obsessed
whereas
with order.
Libertarians are obsessed with chaos. Maybe not, but I mean, if you become obsessed with chaos or order, you become very dangerous.
There's got to be a balance.
Yeah, there it does. Because too much order is show me your papers or get in the cell. Too much chaos is I lit it on fire. I don't even know where the fire is anymore.
Yeah.
Well, the really great and really bad thing about our current dichotomy is that in this larger war, people are literally killing and taking themselves out. It's a really bad thing because it's horrible to see, and you try to prevent it, but a lot of times it's very difficult to do so. But on another aspect, it's a good thing because at the same time it could be stopped just by information, just by knowledge, just by people being able to talk to each other in a transparent, accountable, full, honest, real, truthful way. And the internet provides us a small opportunity to do that, but it's being limited every single day because of that particular reason. This is why this move by Twitter, again, it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out, but I think it provides a huge potential that could really upend and shift things. Will it happen? I'm skeptical, but I do see it as something that could change the world for the better as people realize, hey, maybe I shouldn't be hurting myself. Maybe I shouldn't be treating myself bad. Maybe I should start eating better. Maybe I should start working out. Maybe I shouldn't just listen and do everything that they tell me to do and I keep getting screwed over by it. And I think the more people have those conversations and actually open themselves up to fixing themselves, they won't be killing themselves and blowing themselves up, figuratively, mentally speaking.
Yeah, drug addiction, and I'm talking about high fructose corn syrup, sugars as well, types of drugs like that's something the government can't really kind of control it by banning certain substances, but the whole obesity epidemic, because like you were saying earlier, the government wants workers. They want chickens that just do their chicken thing and lay the eggs, but then why are they letting people get obese? I think it's bigger than economy is the market is stronger than our government.
Thanks for checking out this segment from the Timcast IRL podcast. But if you want to check out the full show live, tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. And if you want more special access content, head over to timcast.com and become a member. Your membership helps sustain this company, keep our journalists employed, makes this show happen, and you will get access to exclusive members-only segments of the Timcast IRL podcast, and there's a massive library to check out. So again, go to timcast.com or tune in Monday through Friday at 8 p.m., and we'll see you all there.